welcome to my channel. I'm Danny, I'm Fitness Addict. This is my gym, this is my channel, this is my setup. So thank you for joining today. Starting with very important thing that every one of us can improve, including me 100%. I'm guilty just like everyone. And that's all about sleep. So due to the fact that there's so many things to go through in terms of sleep, you probably heard about it yourself in terms of what you can do, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, alcohol, caffeine, so many things that we can do better overall, whether we talk only about your normal regular health or focus more about sport, improving your performance, or just your overall daily day-to-day habits and so on. So we'll go through that today, how it improves also your recovery. There is a lot of material. I have 13 pages of material, so for that reason I decided to do it on two different parts. First part today, we'll go through sleep and muscle growth, the crucial role of rest in building strength, optimal sleep and performance, short sleep, short life, impact on health and cancer risk, alcohol and its effect on sleep, and caffeine and its effect on sleep. So I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, don't hesitate a minute, drop me their comment in the messages, just drop me your message in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer you right away as soon as I read it right here on my screen. If you have any questions regarding to fitness overall, again, don't be shy, drop me down a message in the chat. I'll be more than happy to engage with you, have fun, answer your questions, whatever it may be about, and I'll have some questions probably about you as well, especially if you're new to this channel. So as always, don't forget to follow. As always, if you don't want to miss out next episode, we'll continue throughout the year 2024, get better, fitter, sexier, all the stuff, you know what I mean? So yeah, let's start with it. As well, something very new currently, this is the first video that I can finally say that I'm Twitch affiliate. So thank you every single one of you out there, every single one of you, for support and being here. It really means a lot to me, and I couldn't do this without you. Consistency is one thing, however, showing up and so on, that's another thing. But not having an audience out there, people that you can share with the information, happiness, good moments, bad moments, your thoughts, whatever it may be, and then getting to know your audience as well. All those things wouldn't be possible without the audience and progressing as well, which means thanks to you. So without further ado, let's dive in. So on my screen you can see exactly what I'm going through in the right bottom corner. As I'll go through the whole thing, you'll see their exact slide, number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As I mentioned, I'll go through and read the comments as well. And don't forget, please, also to check my Instagram, Danny Fitness Addict. You can drop me their message, including any question in terms of fitness. I'll be more than happy to help you out, chat with you again, and get to know each other. In terms of collaborations as well, of course, I'm more than open to it, especially if you're from UK, such as I am. Go for dropping their message, whatever it may be. I'll be more than happy to get in chat and get to know new people. So let's get into it. So first things we're gonna go through is sleep and muscle growth, the crucial role of rest in building strength. So the first one will be quality sleep and muscle growth. The first point we need to look at is optimal environment. Adequate and quality sleep creates an optimal environment for muscle recovery and growth. Then we go through hormone release. During deep sleep, growth hormone is released, promoting muscle repair and growth. All these points are incredibly valid, especially when you get to think about it, what's happening during sleep. As we'll go through it deeper, you'll start having better understanding. It's not just sleep, I'll get more rested. If you really want to grow your muscles, it's incredibly important to really focus on your sleep. Having recovery, mental fatigue, physical fatigue, all those are factors that really can affect you on a daily basis and eventually bring down your training, bring down your happiness, mental health as well. It's your happiness, you gotta protect it. So it's one of the things. So as I mentioned, hormone release during deep sleep. Growth hormone is released, promoting muscle repair and growth. Muscle repair and protein synthesis. So nighttime repair. Some of you perhaps can support such a thing also by protein for night. So night protein can be also beneficial, especially if you want to focus on the extra step forward and focus on protecting your muscles as well. It's important to have your protein, and this is exactly about it. So nighttime repair. Sleep is a critical period for the body to repair and rebuild muscle tissues. Protein synthesis during sleep. The body undergoes protein synthesis essential for muscle recovery. For gentlemen especially. Testosterone production. Maximized during sleep. Testosterone, a key hormone for muscle development, is maximally produced during deep sleep. What is deep sleep? Wait till we'll get to the next part of that. So all of that will be explained in terms of what is the deep sleep, REM sleep, non-REM sleep, and many other things that are happening during the night. They'll actually surprise you. And not only that, but also in this part 1, we'll go through alcohol and its effect on sleep, and especially caffeine, how long it takes your brain actually to get rid of the effect of caffeine on your brain, and how that impacts your sleep. Not only the quality, but way more factors than that. So stay tuned in and we'll get into that. Testosterone production. Maximized during sleep. Testosterone, a key hormone for muscle development, is maximally produced during deep sleep. Energy restoration. Glycogen means sugar replenishment. During deep sleep, glycogen/sugar stores are replenished, providing energy for the next day's workouts. Injury prevention, very important. Enhanced recovery. Quality sleep helps prevent injuries by enhancing the body's ability to recover from physical stress. Not only from physical, but also mental stress. Every time you do workout, you do exercise, especially as it gets harder, you're grinding through it. If you really get into almost a failure or even a failure in your training, you'll experience a lot of fatigue build up overall over the time mentally. So that's definitely something you need to focus at, look at it, and the sleep again helps you overall, your brain, to cope all these things that you're going through, whether it can be throughout your day, on top of the workout as well. All that just builds up on top of each other and it gets more difficult over time. So without sleep, you're not bringing yourself down only physically, but also mentally. Cortisol regulation. Stress hormone management. Adequate sleeps help regulate cortisol levels, preventing excessive stress hormone release, which can hinder muscle growth. So, cortisol is hormone that basically is catabolic. That means it doesn't promote anabolism. Anabolism is a fact of growth. Catabolism is a fact when your body is basically breaking up proteins, carbs, fat, but also a muscle tissue if you really get into that point. That's why it's important to focus in on not necessarily being catabolic all the time. That's not possible. Being anabolic all the time, that's really not possible. Catabolism is necessary, but the thing is, if you really have a high level of cortisol, you get into the point that more likely you're not going to build your muscles, more likely you're not going to recover. Again, it comes to as well stress. It's a huge thing. Cortisol is incredibly important. It's a good thing. For example, my tip, if you want to lose weight, cortisol is being stopped by insulin level, by insulin hormone, which means insulin comes overall eventually from sugar. So it comes down to a point where if you're on a weight loss, one of the things that you can do yourself is when you start your morning, I'm not talking exactly about being on empty stomach, so fasted, but what you can do is instead of releasing insulin, so having a carbohydrates, getting glycogen, then get it to insulin, and the insulin stops the cortisol, then don't have any sugar in the morning. And I mean like none, if possible. What I mean none is, let's say, up to 20 grams of carbohydrates overall. The point is, if you get your carbs in the morning, you're gonna have a bowl of oats with banana, fruits, and so on. That's a lot of sugar, a lot of glucose overall. So already gonna stop the cortisol. But if you want to have the cortisol level for longer and still try to protect your muscles by protein, what you're gonna do, simple as that, you try to get, let's say, jerky bacon, for example, is my very favorite. Jerky bacon, there's 1 gram of fat per 134 grams of protein. It's meat. Meat is definitely higher quality than whey protein or milk protein overall. So that'll be definitely my tip. Really focusing that, bring in a protein in right away in the morning. Try to minimize sugar / carbohydrate as much as possible. And for example, till midday, 12 o'clock, have no carbs whatsoever, because that will really promote the cortisol, helping you to lose weight, and still you're protecting your muscles by having the protein delivered. So that's important thing. Try it out yourself. I try myself multiple times. It's wonderful thing. It works for some people better, for some worse. Again, it comes down to how sensitive you are to sugar and how you feel about it as well. However, you can always try it out. It's great to experiment on yourself, listen some of the advices, and then eventually apply it to yourself again. See how it works, see how you feel about it, and after, for example, month, you can review the situation and be like, okay, I felt like this, I felt like that. What have I learned from this? What have I learned from that? And bring it together, and again, find what works best for you. And that's the main point. You get a lot of information throughout all these pages, whether for male or female or for both. We're also going to talk about estrogen, such as stuff, so everyone can find something useful for them. Consistent sleep patterns. Importance of routine. Consistent sleep patterns contribute to more effective muscle recovery. Nightly sleep duration. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night for optimal recovery. If you ever have heard of Matthew Walker is a scientist that focuses on sleep for past 20-25 years. He do all research all about sleep. That's what I came with all this information from. All of this is from his book that I listen. Actually, I haven't read it. I listen to it on audiobooks. If you go to audiobooks, you can check it out. It's called Why We Sleep, and he speaks about it as well, and with other on other podcasts as well. And he literally mentioned that they did research, and there is 0.0001 population in the world that actually they can sleep 6 or less hours a day and be fine. There is exactly evidence that if you sleep less than 6 hours, it's gonna have some impact on you, no matter what you say. No matter, I'm fine on 6 hours. By the research, there was really 0.00001% of people on this planet that actually would be fine So I presume this is probably not you. So you can claim whatever you want. 6 hours, I'm working just fine. I'm totally fine. I can produce same performance. I can be as productive as if I have slept 7 hours or 9 hours. It's not true by research. If you sleep 6 or less hours, it's a huge difference. So for that reason, there is exactly 7 to 9 hours. And hydration and nutrition. Sleep and nutrition link. Quality sleep complements proper nutrition and hydration for effective muscle recovery. When we're speaking about muscle recovery and also muscle growth, if you dehydrate, for example, you haven't drank much water throughout the day, the problem is they will eventually have an effect on your body, on you, as you're going through your workouts, because hydration, we are made primarily out of water. Let's be honest, we need water, and for that reason, as I mentioned, hydration is really important. It delivers all important aspects to your muscles. If you want to grow, if you want to recovery, hydration is really essential. And the same thing comes with effective muscle recovery. There is of course a recommendation. It works for everyone slightly differently in terms of when you're supposed to drink or last let's say a cup of water and so on. Yeah, recommendation as far as I'm aware was at least 2 hours. It may have changed. Someone said 2 hours, someone says 4 hours. The point is, if you try to get hydration water too soon before you go to sleep, it will definitely have an effect on your sleep, and you can even wake up during the night, especially as you're going through the lighter part of the sleep. That's more likely when you wake up than when you're in that deep stage of sleep. Hey, almighty Banda, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. Nice to see you here. I'm doing wonderful. This is a new year, new things coming up, a lot of happening in behind the scene. Can't mention yet, but when it will be out, when it will be ready, you'll be notified. I'll let you know for sure. Thanks for stopping by, man. How are you? What about your 2024? I'm wondering, do you have any goals for this year, whether personal, whether fitness, whatever it may be? Here's your New Year results. I heard there's a lot of gym being quite packed at the moment, so a lot of people are really trying to hit their goal. Respect to you guys. Keep hitting your goal. Just wonder how long it's really actually gonna last. No goals? Really? Just trying to get stronger, better, or whatever it may be? We're not talking about only fitness goals, any goals, personal goals, whatever it may be. And because you've been here with me so many times, I want to thank you as well for being here so many times, being so loyal. It really means a lot, man. Every time I come here, you come by, dropping their message, how you doing, so on. It's nice to see people when they're interested. And because of you as well, today is the first stream when I'm actually Twitch affiliate. So first stream of 2024, first stream when I'm Twitch affiliate, which basically allow me to have more chances how to improve this channel as well, and allow me to have more tools to use, so on and so forth. So I'm learning. It's quite a lot to actually digest, but it's great. It's definitely great. Now I can have followers, subscribers as well. If you've been interested, click the subscribe. I'll be more than happy. And if you have any question, as always, don't hesitate, don't be shy to ask me. Today I'm going through the sleep, so all about sleep. So there's quite a lot in depth, hence I decided to basically go and separate it on 2 different parts. So part 1, 5 points, and then part 2, another 5 points, because it's really in depth. It's not just hit your sleep, I'll get you 7 to 9 hours and that's it, and no explanation behind, no such a thing, what kind of impact it has on you as a person, mental health, physical health. There's quite a lot. I was surprised myself when I listened a book, Why We Sleep. What about you? How is your sleep? When we talk about sleep, how's your sleep? How many hours do you sleep? And how do you feel about it? Do you think you need to improve your sleep, or you're just fine? I know some people that say, personally, oh, I do 6 hours and I'm fine. I feel bad on 9 hours. And then other people, they're like, oh, I need 12 hours. I'm definitely one of those people that love to sleep. I am personally. If I could sleep every day 10 hours, that would be wonderful. That would be definitely golden. 5 to 7 hours. Wow. Okay. Improve. Glad to hear that. And how do you think you can improve it? Or what the barrier that actually stopping you from improving your sleep? I love your honesty, right? Like, respect. At least you're honest. I'll take it. And I used to be guilty of that too, like so many times. So many times. Especially as I got kid later on. It was really difficult to, try to get all this that I want to do. All the things, work, friends, go to the gym, have some time for myself, have some time for my partner, and also play games. And the next day wake up and go to school again with him this time, not me anymore. So that was definitely messing me up, and I could feel it in the morning. I was more grumpy, irritated, and so on. So playing games too late. Hey, what games do you play? If you play Valorant, you can drop me their message and drop me there your Valorant tag, and we can play out. We can play. I tried a couple times and I really enjoyed it. League of Legends, I heard about it but never played it. Okay, fair enough. Good point. Playing games too late. Hey, at least you're honest, man. At least you're honest. Do you think if you actually, let's say you play a bit less, and you would sleep more, it will increase your performance? Do you think you could actually play better? Like you'd be sharper, smarter, your response time would be better? I know it's the shooting game. I've seen League of Legends. I know it's not exactly shooting game, but it would actually help. That was the idea, that you don't have to do work for 12 hours and sleep for 6 hours. But what you can do, you can sleep 8 hours, work for 8 hours. You got 4 hours extra in your pocket, which you can do whatever you want because you improve your sleep by 2 extra hours only. But it'll have such an impact on you, such an effect on you. So eventually you'll be more productive, you'll be more sharper, ideas coming quicker, and so on. So that may would help. Just saying, like if I could play the games for multiple hours, then sleep 6 hours, and then kind of feel like garbage, and then I would play games again, I bet I wouldn't be as sharp or like feeling as productive as I could. Yeah, give it a go, man. Give it a go. Especially if you don't work on night shifts, that would really help you out. Like having a set time that you go to sleep around, your body will adapt to it, and again, it will help to fall asleep, and it really helps. It's one of the things that we'll go through today as well. So if you would have any question in terms of that, or something that maybe your question in terms of the sleep or suggestion or why, drop me that message in the chat. And let's continue. And before I continue, I'll share with you, for those that already know, a Be Active podcast profile on Instagram, so you can go and follow me there as well. Because, ladies and gentlemen, another episode coming soon, and another one very soon after. So I hope you enjoy. Yeah, man. Sorry, I got this. Never mind. But cheers, man. Cheers. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. So another episode coming soon, and I hope you enjoy it. It'll be available again on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Video and audio on YouTube, video and audio on Spotify, and audio only on Apple Podcast. So stay tuned and check out the announcement on my Instagram, danny.fitnessaddict. Let's do it. Okay, where we stopped. There we go. So The last point that I mentioned was that sleep and nutrition linked. You already got that explained quite in depth. If you have questions, drop me that message in the chat and I'll try to give you the best example that you can apply to yourself or how it may affect you personally, or from my own experience as well. I'm already 30 years old and I tried a lot of things within the fitness, so experimenting with sleep, supplements, so on and so forth, so a lot of stuff. When we get to supplements, there'll be definitely a lot of things that I bet that would interest you. Some of the things that I already spoke with my close circle of friends, you know, the ones that have been working out for whether for many years or just a while, yet it was pretty handy and interesting. Like, I enjoy talking about supplements as well. There's a lot of hidden things that people don't know about, and things where you can save money, which I guess wants everyone. So yeah, that'll be the next one. Supplements definitely coming soon. So then we got recovery. Yes. Post-workout nutrition. Nutrition absorption is optimized with adequate sleep, supporting post-workout recovery. Pretty self-explanatory. Nutrition absorption is optimized with adequate sleep. It's true. However, there are things such as if you're having a huge meal, a lot of the energy actually that your body is supposed to be in recovery mode, and it's recovery not only for your brain, for your muscles, for your body, not doing any physical activity, but also for your digestive system, such as your guts, your stomach, and so on. So it can happen that if you're having, for example, big meal 1 hour, 2 hours before you go to sleep, what can happen, a lot of the energy will go in your digestive system, and that can actually pretty badly disturb your sleep. And in the morning, you'll wake up probably still feeling quite heavy, and definitely way less rested, because a lot of energy really goes to your digestive system. Your body still has to work even throughout the night and trying to digest, and absorb and deliver all that meal that you had before, especially if it was big meal, or not even mention like multiple hamburgers from McDonald's or such. I'm talking just quite healthy meal that can still definitely have bad impact on your body. Or again, if you're too hungry, too hungry, when you can feel like your belly's kind of rumbling and you're kind of like hungry, that again can have effect on your sleep, because it's telling your body you're hungry, get some food, we are hungry, we need to survive. So we used to be primals, right? So it's just what we used to do. You need to eat, you want to survive. That's how it's all the time. So that instinct will still be there. If you be too hungry, you'll have again lower quality sleep than you could have if you had at least, for example, protein shake 2 hours before sleep. Mention protein shake because it helps protecting your muscles and supporting anabolism and muscle protein synthesis for growing and recovering your muscles as well. So mention that specifically because it can actually have a good effect on you. Now we get to the point of recovery strategies. Incorporate rest days. Allow for rest days in your workout routine to ensure adequate recovery. Prioritize sleep hygiene. Create a sleep conducive environment by maintaining a consistent sleep schedule and reducing stimuli before bedtime. Again, it comes to, you probably heard about sleep hygiene so many times. Sleep hygiene, it means go to sleep at the same times, don't mess up with your circadian rhythm. That means your biological clock. One day you go to sleep at 7 o'clock p.m. Another day you go to sleep at 1 o'clock p.m. And another day you go to sleep again 1 o'clock p.m. and you wake up at 7 o'clock a.m. or you wake up at 11 o'clock a.m. It'll mess up your body a lot, and your body won't know then when it's time to sleep, when it's time to wake. Am I going to sleep like that? Am I going to sleep like that? If you set your sleep time and wake up time on your days off, similarly as on your days at work, unless you work on patterns such as night shift, day shift, mid shift, morning shift, whatever, you get the point. They can really mess you up. And if you check out the YouTube and, for example, Joe Rogan's podcast and Matthew Walker, they speak about that and how badly these kind of shift patterns can mess you up, can cause you heart attack as well, really having a huge impact on your body, on your brain, on your function. More likely you'll get fat as well, having a problem with insulin. Obesity is unfortunately a huge thing in nowadays, but these kind of things can mess you up very badly on big time. And not mentioning problems also with your heart. So there was a lot to it. The Matthew Walker was mentioned, especially the thing that was pretty interesting in one of the podcasts with Joe Rogan, as I mentioned, which you can find out on Spotify. He mentioned what happened to people in Greece when they used to have a midday nap. So 1 hour sleep, or even between 20 to 40 minutes, you have siesta time. What was happening that after the government decided to cancel this, and there was no more breaks in between the days, so you don't have siesta time where you go home, you have 1 hour chill, then you go back to work for a few more hours. Everyone's supposed to go have a rest, sleep. As I mentioned, 20 to 40 minutes nap time is pretty ideal, so your body doesn't get such shock and get into that deeper sleep if you slept, for example, for an hour. The point was, after they decided to remove it, I'm not going to tell you exact numbers because it's been about one year ago since I listened to that podcast, but the point was problems with the heart attack increase, problem with insulin, all those bad things that you definitely don't want. Numbers of these illnesses, of these problems for working men were increased by about 56%, and for women about 44%, which is crazy. Just 1 hour of time for yourself in the middle of the day when you can go home, have a nap for even almost an hour, and it has such a huge impact on your body and your cardiovascular system. Again, heart, insulin level, your sugar level, diabetes, all those things. It made a huge difference. I wouldn't believe those numbers, but it's true that as we'll get through these slides further, you'll see there also things such as how it works in terms of your midday dip in your alertness, in your sleep. Everyone pretty much has kind of the time between 1 to 4 p.m. when you feel so tired, you just want to sleep so bad. All that will be explained, but this was definitely a great point, and I love it because no matter what kind of diet you follow, it's not going to have such a huge impact on the way that you feel. So if you think that you'll try to have a huge dose of carbs and caffeine between 1 to 4 p.m. and midday, when you're falling asleep, starting to feel drowsy, and just getting really tired, it's not gonna matter that much. Just that's the way it is. So we'll go through it as well. It's definitely a fact that basically affect every one of us, really, no matter what kind of diet you follow. It's not gonna make a huge difference. It's unfortunate, but it'll be explained here. It was pretty interesting. So let's continue. Overall well-being. Mind-body connection. Quality sleep positively impacts mental well-being, reducing stress, supporting overall physical health and muscle growth. One thing I'd like to mention before we get to move on another subject is reducing stimulus before sleep, such as caffeine. You definitely want to see the next slide that's going to be there about caffeine and its effect on sleep. Same as alcohol, it's quite major. I'm not sure, but I guess I would say the caffeine is even worse. So number 2, optimal sleep and performance. Target 7 to 9 hours of sleep for peak performance. Already know that. Below 7 hours, noticeable impairments in brain and body functions occur. Personal experience highlights the stark contrast in physical well-being after a night of good sleep versus insufficient sleep. So one night can make a huge difference, not only in the way that you perform, also your muscles respond, the muscles that help you balance as well, stabilization, all of those things, they make a huge difference how your body will react. And not only that, but also how you go through the movements, also your muscle-mind connection, the squeeze of your muscle, the contractions. When you are rested, it makes a huge difference the way that you feel your body, the way your body reacts on your demand. If you do bicep curls, so on and so forth, you're very tired. If you do complex compound movements, such as, for example, deadlift or squats, those are things that require a lot of mental and physical strength, but mental a lot, because there's a lot of muscles happening. You got to think about a lot of things, keep in check a lot of small things within the movement. So the problem is, as you get tired, you're not going to be able to focus on them as much. Your brain kind of lose the clarity and gets kind of in the fog, and it's just, you won't perform as well as you could if you had already one night good sleep. Can make a huge difference also in remembering the things, but we'll come to that later. So athletes face increased injury risk with inadequate sleep, showing a linear relationship between sleep duration and injury probability. So if you have more hours where you experience less sleep and you know that you're in underslept stage, you are more likely to get injured. Simple as that. Stability muscles, crucial for balance, are compromised without sufficient sleep, contributing to injury risk. As I mentioned already, all these things happens. One of the things where you can apply it very easily is, for example, when you do lunges. Lunges require decent balance. Also, for me personally, Bulgarian split squat. Step box steps, step box, something like that. Yeah, when you just step on the box or a bench, that one requires hell of a balance. If you put one foot on the bench or a box and then you do really the step ups, it requires a lot of balance in your ankles, in your knee, especially as you're going slowly down. You just smash your other foot on the ground or on the floor. It makes a huge difference. You need a lot of stabilization when you do these kind of movements, as I mentioned, especially in the knees, also your hips. Keep the whole balance of your torso as well, and in your ankles, especially if you put your foot on not a hard surface but a soft one, such as bench, for example, that has a padding pretty soft, so your foot kind of gets inside. It's really difficult, and it's already difficult itself, not mentioning if you're in underslept stage even one night or more. That will be definitely a hell. Hello, hey Danny93, nice to see you here, thanks for stopping by. As I was saying previously, welcome again, thank you for being here. As I already saw you here so many times, been engaging, chatting, so I really appreciate it. Just want to put extra emphasis on that. Today is the first day of 2024 when I'm actually streaming, and not only that, 2024 is another year, of course. It was 2023, 2022, and so on and so forth. But the thing is, today is the first day when I'm streaming as a Twitch affiliate, which means I can have followers, I can have subscribers, which is big for me, progressing slowly but surely, and that's the main point. So thank you once again for being here, as you supported me so many times, so by being here and just talking, have a talk, have a chat, whether I was here with Adrian or with other guests, it was always great. So thanks once again, and I hope you continue to supporting me. and I hope I'll be able to provide you more information, whatever may be about overall in the terms of fitness, well-being, mental health. All those things are important. The sense of community of fitness, I personally believe it's important, and it helps people to stick to their goal more. As if you have supportive community, it can make a huge difference. Or whether you're alone and you just, who will know if I'm gonna skip today? No one. But if you have your mates in the gym, for example, people that rely on you, if you have your gym buddy or your friend group or your friends group that know that you're working out, all of you trying to kind of get into that New Year's result, for example, where I'm about to lose this weight, I'm about to lose that weight, so on and so forth. I want to get better, fitter, whatever it may be. I think supporting each other, whether on distance or in close circle, can make a huge difference. It made to me, I bet it made to you, and many people that whether watch here previously, or keep watching, or overall. Fitness community is an important thing. It's not always possible to be alone on everything, and you can't learn everything by yourself. For that reason, I guess it's pretty good to have smart friends that will support you, like I got. Yeah. So back to it. Well, we finished. So, visualization enhances learning and performance in motor skills, like in martial arts. Visualization is about 50% as effective as physical practice in beneficial brain rewiring. Sleep aids in Sleep aids in automaticity. Damn, and I learned it, and I read it already multiple times before. Sleep aids in automaticity. Whose city? Autocity. Automaticity. Damn, that what the. Automaticity. Yes, sleep aids in automaticity, making learned skills second nature. Jesus, oh my god. Yeah, you got me. So automaticity is mainly about autonomic. Okay, so automatic behavior. What it means, you learn one thing, and then your body, you go through it multiple times. You sleep on it. You sleep on the problem. You sleep well after you learn something. So that information, whether the movement information, or whether again it's movement or it's for your brain as well, all of that's important, because then your body will get deeper, and you will learn way quicker. Again, if you go and check out the Joe Rogan's podcast with Matthew Walker, he was providing a lot of good background stories in terms of these kind of examples. So it was wonderful to listen to that. Again, go on Spotify, check it, Joe Rogan and Matthew Walker, the sleep scientist. And it was a lot of information and so easily applicable, so easily understandable. It was great. And this one, it was so true. If you go and learn something that you need, for example, for your exam, information, whatever it may be, you read a book, you want to remember the information, and you choose path where I'll be staying awake till late night, and instead of sleeping 8 hours, you decide to sleep only 5.5 eventually, or maybe 6. Because you think you're going to learn longer, you're going to get more info inside, and will actually stay inside of your brain, of your memory, in your memory. They were doing, again, experiments, so if you slept on it after you actually learned the information, instead of 6 hours, you would sleep 8 or even 9, you remember it way better. Way, way better. And not only that, your memory, you'll be able to recollect that information in a way easier. And again, it comes to how your brain processes all the information, how it remembers it. So it's definitely important really to, whether you have a problem, sleep on it, as he says so many times, but also trying to, for example, spend less time of studying, learn a thing, and then instead of choosing to sleep 6 hours or even less than that, go to sleep earlier and hit 8 hours, and you have way more chance of actually remember the certain thing that matters to you. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed the book, whether in the physical, as a proper paper book, or as an audio on Audible, Why We Sleep, and Joe Rogan's podcast as well. I would definitely recommend you, if you don't have time to read a book, at least listen to the audiobook. I listened to the audiobook about 3 times already, and there's always something there, like, oh my god, oh yeah, that was this, oh yeah, that was that, oh this is interesting, that's interesting. So it's definitely wonderful. And that's the point of sleep. It's not only for people that like to work out, only for people that want to do fitness. It's for everyone. If you don't hit your 7 to 9 hours of sleep regularly on top of that, it'll mess you up. You get irritated, you get messy, you get hungry, more like you're about to get fat. If you have friends, if you gotta go to work early, you hate to wake up, all those things really matter. You can get more likely into trouble with your colleagues because you're just irritated, you're pissed off, and you can't be asked, dealing with some problem, you're in a bad mood, you're in a bad state because, again, you're underslept. All those things are so easily connected to sleep. It's crazy sometimes. Hello. Yes, welcome. I see your first time chat. Welcome to my channel. I'm Danny. I'm Fitness Addict. This is my stream. This is my channel. This is my gym. Yes, correct. You're right. Oh my god. Electricity. Sleep, you say? Yes. What's that? I ask myself sometimes too. You're not the only one. I sleep between 2 and 17 hours. 2 and 17. What the? It absolutely has wrecked my body. That's one of the things that I was mentioning previously as I went through the slides. That was, in a simple way, mess up your body because as Matthew Walker, the scientist all about sleep, was mentioning, there is 0.0001% of population in this world that actually could sleep 6 hours or less, have no effect on them. So of course, most likely you're one of those people that it definitely has effect on. The problem with it is the problem with the sleep is as well, not only that, how often you sleep, but also regulation of your hours. So what time do you go to sleep? Do you regulate the time that you go to sleep and then you wake up? That mess up your circadian rhythm / your kind of biological clock. So when your body's supposed to prepare for the sleep mentally and physically as well, so you get more more drowsy, more tired overall, and then more likely all the sleep hormones are released in the right time and your body's preparing for the sleep as well. So if you really having such messed up sleep, when you sleep 2 hours and then 17 hours, all what your body trying to do is kind of like rebound effect. It's at least trying to get some of that needed sleep back, which is impossible because, as Matthew Walker was mentioning in the Joe Rogan's podcast that I've watched a couple times, also in his book again, Why We Sleep, was there is no such a thing that you can one day sleep for 17 hours. Kind of get it like in the bank, in the storage, and 5 days after, when you need those hours, you go to sleep only 2-3 and kind of added what you have in your storage to it. That'll be wonderful, it'll be great. One day I would sleep 24 hours and then for the next couple of days I would sleep by 2 hours and I would still feel fresh. That's not unfortunately the thing by any means. So yeah, it makes sense why your body was so wrecked. Like, sorry for you, it must be tough. Respect that you could survive on it, honestly. Got a long time insomnia. It's never ending fight to get a regular amount of sleep. Oh my god. I'll go for a few weeks of sleeping, a couple of very disrupted hours of sleep, and then when my body finally just gives in, I'll sleep for nearly a full 24 hours, yeah? Just walk around feeling rough. Wow. I don't mean to be mean, but I guess you even look rough. Like, again, it comes to, there was experiment of people that had proper amount of sleep for whether one night that already made a difference. Sorry to hear that. It already made a difference in one night. Yeah, so if you had a bad sleep for one night or you had a good sleep, imagine what kind of effect it would have on you if you had a whole week of amazing sleep, which for instance means you go to sleep whole week at 10 o'clock p.m. and wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, or even 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, you would still get 8 hours of sleep or 9 hours of sleep. And the point is not only how many hours you sleep, but also what time do you go to sleep and what time do you wake up. It comes really to that sleep hygiene, and it makes a huge difference. They were making even studies, and I watched YouTube videos of people, what kind of perception you have on people later on. So only a few hours of sleep different on one person that was in underslept stage, and that same person a few days after in properly well rested stage. The way they looked, the way they were attractive, the way they basically put themselves out there, the way they spoke with people, the way they were able to put sentences together, find the proper words, and live their day from morning to night. The people were doing an experiment that they'll show you the same person as I mentioned, and other people were judging them. It's like, oh, what do you think about this? Oh yeah, this is an attractive person. Oh, this one looks kind of tired, just the attractiveness is not much there or whatever. And then the same person shown later was like, oh yeah, he looks more positive and so on, because the person was rested. So it can make a huge difference, not just about how you feel, but also how you look, which is crazy. It was only about two hours that made this difference in that experiment. It was insane. I was like, what the heck? So yeah, yes, correct. And thank you for being so active in the chat. I'm very glad, and bringing up also your own experience. Like between 2 and 17 hours, that sounds really rough. I don't know how you can survive on it. I sometimes complain that I sleep 6 or slightly below, and I suffer already. Yeah? And I'm having their kind of frequency, or I'm trying to kind of get it back on my days off, so I can get some hours slightly back or feel better. But yeah, good night. For me, it's a bad night. Jesus Christ, respect really. Oh, by the way, electricity. When you're for the first time, don't forget click the follow. If you want to go above and beyond, you can even click the subscribe. As I was mentioned before, today is the first stream of 2024 and the first stream, and I'm actually Twitch affiliate officially, which is wonderful. If you haven't seen my content before, I would more than encourage you, go and check the previous broadcast, whether in terms of workouts or in terms of podcast that I did with my good friend that went through certain things in his life, how he started his fitness journey. I was sharing my fitness journey as well, as I've been working out for over 12 years. How I started, what I've learned over the years, some pros and cons. People were asking us questions a lot. It was definitely wonderful. We spent a first thank you very much, appreciate it. Thank you. It wouldn't be possible without audience again. So if I didn't have my followers, people that follow me, people that watch me, it wouldn't be possible. So mentioning that, it was wonderful for me being there with Adrian here as my guest, sharing his story, my story, our backgrounds, and a lot of other people's story and their tough times as well, which again showed how many people actually suffer with mental health in terms of fitness community, why they go into a gym, and what exercise, overall people movement has on your mental effect. So if you like to check out the previous broadcast, it's still there. Otherwise, I'll share as previously my Instagram, Danny Fitness Addict, where you can see other stuff that I do as well. Not only the podcast, but overall content creating. There's currently happening a lot of it behind the scene, which I can't share yet. But next episode is coming very soon of the podcast with the Daniel Sellers, personal trainer. He's been through his own stuff as well, and he was very proactive in terms of sharing his story and messages. It was wonderful. It's really nice to come across different people with different backgrounds. And thanks once again for the congratulations on getting the affiliate link. I'm very happy for that. Nice. Me too. It's not easy at the beginning, but as your body will get used to it again, the physical stress and the kind of the mental stress as well on your body, the mental fatigue and the physical fatigue, it'll get better. So even the way that your body fatigue, recovering the soreness, and the mental fatigue, the tiredness, it's trainable. It is trainable. Hey, like you said, just stick to it and it'll get better. I know it's tough, but it will get better for sure. All the time, it gets better. And thank you for following us. So you follow me. So thanks you once again. Wonderful having you here and meet new people again. If I may ask, where you from? Are you from UK or somewhere outside of UK? Okay, the first time I went just walked a mid incline on like 48 speed and watch a movie. Honestly, I prefer that a lot. That what you just described. Watch a movie, chill, do your steady state cardio when you're still burning calories, but you mentally resting, kind of like active rest. You burn your calories, you burn some fat, put energy in it. Oh my god, Norway, wow, respect. Norway, jeez, it must be beautiful. A friend of mine lived in Norway for 2 years, and I'm jealous. Not about the cold. I got here my 3 degrees, but yeah, I bet. But what you just mentioned is definitely one of the great things that I mentioned in my previous video, which was about cardio. If it's still there, you can go watch it. If it's not, I'm currently making shorts. I'm editing it as a short, so then I'll put it on my YouTube channel, Danny Fitness Addict. Damn. Oh my god. Respect. And I'm crying here that I'm in 3 degrees plus. So yeah, well, people from Norway are tougher than people from Czech Republic, I guess. Yeah. I live in UK for past decade now, so this year decade. So I guess I just adopted that English weather. Yeah. Okay. Good for you. Stay warm at home and just watch my stream and enjoy. If you have more questions, just drop me a message. I'll be more than happy to chat with you. I'll go through another slide right now, and then I'll get back to you in the chat. As I mentioned already, another podcast episode is coming out very soon. So if you follow my Instagram, the announcement will be there. You can see that more stuff that I did previously, whether with my friends, overall my fitness journey, and you can also see there right away my 11 years fitness transformation when I started in a certain way. I used to be bullied kid in school, you know, with the glasses and acne. I still wear glasses, not this time. But yeah, and the whole transformation as I was growing up, you know, learning different things. Then I got a kid and so on. It's only 18 seconds short, but it's touchy. It's inspirational. It's motivational. It's what you want to see. Fitness transformational videos are very watched on YouTube, especially because it gives people hope and strength as well. Mental strength and motivation. Then you just gotta go and do it, which is the hardest part about it. So, and stick to it. Yeah. So, what can you do? Thank you. Thanks. Thank you really for your kind words. I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you for support. And I hope I'll see you here soon again. And don't forget, have a wonderful sleep, yeah? Proper deep sleep. No alcohol before, no caffeine before, at least 12 hours. Just give you a quick pro tip before I get there. So before you fall asleep. Caffeinated drinks have effect on you, on your brain for 12 hours. That's a damn long time. And I freaked out when I heard, like, what? 12 hours? I felt like 4, maybe 6. But it's actually 12. It's actually 12 hours. So, yeah, caffeine is not the best thing, unfortunately. Same with alcohol. I'll be mentioning more things about alcohol as well, but quick pro tips I can give you. There was a thing about alcohol that it doesn't put you in such a deep sleep. It basically blocks some of your hormones, and also in terms of your dreams. So later on it gets to, you can have very crazy dreams because all the hormones just trying to get in there, clear your brain out, your memory as well, your experiences throughout the day and so on. Your brain is just basically like data wiping a memory, just trying to get it out and filter it, so you can have some pretty crazy dreams. So it seems like it puts you in a sleep, but having a sleep pill or having a proper sleep is not the same, because one just making you sleepier, another one actually you go into sleep. So even sleeping pills are not the best for that in terms of putting you to deep sleep stages and then less deeper. So it's just that I love alcohol. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say I love. I like alcohol. Yeah, I like alcohol. Makes you nice and relaxed, having a fun conversation sometimes, so bring a bit of encouragement and make you relaxed, especially after hard training. It can relax your body, your muscles if you felt a bit tight somewhere, or you can just replace it with a hot tub, with a hot bath, and kind of do the same. So try that, better than alcohol. So thank you once again for being here, and I hope you stop by next time. Okay, and now back to it. So, Yep. As I mentioned previously, the last part here, studies reveal sleep's role in transitioning from conscious automatic execution in complex motor sequences, crucial for peak athletic performance. It was wonderful what, in terms of example, playing piano. When you go and playing a piano, for example, as you're going through it, you're learning the sequence, you're learning the way how to play piano. When you hit proper hours of sleep, your body gets it in your brain way easier, and actually even can recall the memory, the thing that you're trying to learn, way easier. That's why it comes to that, and then you really get to that point of automaticity where you don't have to think about the movement so much. Your body just does it because it's embedded so much in the brain, because the brain had a time to digest information, repeat it as well frequently by repeating the action, which means again practice, and have 7 to 9 hours of sleep, so it really can work effectively. And throughout the night, your brain is saving all that memory, all what have learned that day, whether you learn it for exam again, so on and so forth. In terms of martial arts, that was a pretty good example, and more of that you can definitely find it on YouTube. As I mentioned once again, last time for now, go and check out the Joe Rogan's podcast and Matthew Walker, and listen up. At least if you don't have time to read, listen his audiobook Why We Sleep. It's incredibly helpful, whether you just want to improve your life, fitness, whatever it may be, whoever you are, sleep will help everyone. It's like PEDs. Yeah, it's like steroids. Yeah, if you have good sleep, you'll be like a person on steroids. Productive, let's go and get it, let's do it. In 8 hours, you can smash way more work than 12 hours if you're in underslept stage. In 8 hours of good sleep, you'll be way more sharper, way more productive, feeling more amazing. Be better person, be better parent, be better if you have proper amount of sleep. I just put it that way. Yeah. From own experience as well, I can be pretty grumpy on my child or irritated if I'm having 6 or less hours of sleep versus 9 hours of sleep. I'm guilty of that, and I say it out loud. I'm not proud of that, but it's true. That's why I nearly stopped playing the games, because I was prioritizing games and not sleep, and that's not good for me. Yeah. Ay. Error 401. What? Yeah. Hello, Mr. René Rosé. Nice to see you here. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Thank you, mate. Thank you. You helped me a lot. As many people, and more than most people. So thank you once again for mentioning that. I'm very glad. Already got new followers, so it's great. It's great. I'm very happy for that. Yeah, I'm here for a while already. Correct. Yeah, for a while. Okay. You've been here for a while as well. But playing. Okay, okay. Thanks for stopping by, mate. How was the game? How was your lovely PUBG? Still planning to play the game, or are you done for today? Announcement. Right now, I have announcement too. I'm slowly but surely I'm stopping feeling my fingers and my feet as well. But the fingers is worse because I need the mouse. So I need to touch the mouse, so it's not ideal really. Can you hear the music? What do you think about the music? Epic sounds. I call it epidemic is sorry, it's actually not epic. It's epic music, but it's epidemic. Yeah, epidemic sound. Yes, free trial. I am, yeah. A free trial, but sign up for a month at the moment. I did. And can you hear the music properly in the background? I didn't mean to have it too loud or too noisy, but this one is called educational. For those that want to educate, naturally. Right. Even I can hear it. It's nice and chill, so it's good. Don't have to listen to my voice only all the time. Okay, let's continue. We got another part here. Oh, it's already slide number 3 out of 5. That went quick. So, slide number 3. Short sleep, short life, impact on your health and cancer risk. Measuring health through sleep involves surveys and studies. Short sleep predicts shorter life and increased mortality. Lack of sleep linked to Alzheimer's, obesity, diabetes, and cancer. Night shift work classified as a probable carcinogenic. Insufficient sleep alters appetite hormones, causing overeating. Unhealthy food choices result from sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation contributes to an obesogenic profile. Yeah, so sleep deprivation contributes to an obesogenic profile. Rise in obesity rates correlates with declining sleep time. Personal experiences reflect a tendency for poor food choices when tired. Those are such a valid points. Oh, thank you, mate. Thank you. Sounds amazing. Thanks. Yes, you're right. That's right. That's that day. That's that day. So, going through this, when you're awake state, your wakefulness is a state when your brain is getting damaged. When you're in sleep, your brain is in state when it's repairing. Think about it. In the moment when you wake up, your brain is being used, using its capacity, its energy, and it's the moment when your brain is being damaged throughout the whole day. It's getting damaged. When you're in sleep, it's getting repaired. It relaxes, filter everything, what happened throughout the day, things that need to remember, so on and so forth. Again, it comes to repair physical and mental as well. The thing is, in terms of lack of sleep linked to Alzheimer's, obesity, diabetes, and cancer. Some of these points will be better explained deeper in the part 2, and also how to encounter that as well, how to improve your sleep strategies and so on. So definitely stay with it, or come to the next one, part 2, sleep part 2. But this is such a huge thing, especially in terms of Alzheimer's, because people that claim I don't need to sleep, I'll rest when I'm dead, oftentimes they get to problems with the memory. So the thing is, obesity, diabetes, yes, it's all about having an increase. Basically, you getting fatter because of certain hormones, leptin and ghrelin. What they are will be explained. Diabetes, again, it's a problem with sugar, you're getting fatter as well. Cancer, again, another thing. It comes to damaging when you're awake and repairing when you're in sleep. Alzheimer's was one of the terrible ones that when I listened to the book and also listened to the podcast, there were very famous people back in the 60s when there was such a research done at the time. They were claiming, oh, why would you sleep more than 6 hours? You want to be more productive, get richer, live your life to the fullest, sleep 6 hours, no more than that, and such. Another person was very well known, whether it was president or some very famous celebrity at the time, and it was a similar thing. I don't need to sleep more than that, I'm gonna rest when I'm dead, blah 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 blah. Both of them, they end up with Alzheimer, and quite early age, which it wasn't necessary at the time, especially as I mentioned, it was quite early age. So Alzheimer's was a thing that can be more developed as you're not hitting your proper hours of your sleep, because you exposing your body, your memory, your brain to more damage than needed, than more damage than the rest of people. So really staying awake longer is not solution to your problems. To learn things, enjoy the world better, and experience life when you experience it by 30% less than you could, or by even by even 50% less than you could. Speaking about energy, remembering things, enjoying the moments full of energy again, and living the experiences to its fullest. You won't live them if you're tired, you're irritated, you're pissed off, you're hungry, you eat more, because sleep regulates the hormones ghrelin and leptin, which comes to you eventually making you fatter and hungrier and less satisfied in terms of your food cravings, because those hormones are messed up because of sleep again. So we'll get to that point later, but these two were so surprising to me, And I'm very glad that I've definitely listened to the book, because I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? But then in times, the thing is, when you listen to all this, it's a time when you can justify yourself, understand why you're hungry in a certain day. If some days you're hungrier because you had a bad sleep than in other days when you had a good sleep, you know what's going on. You can wake up in the morning and be like, okay, damn, I slept only 5.5 hours. I feel like shit already. I feel tired, miserable. I look like shit. My memory, like my brain, I got brain fog. My clarity is gone. I gotta go to work, and now doing this, doing that. Oh my God, it's gonna be a long day. You already screw your day from a moment of the night before, when you didn't hit your proper hours of sleep, which is 7 to 9 hours, I mentioned before. You already screwed up your day for the next day, your whole day. And again, you can't really get those hours back. As mentioned, it's not like you can sleep 5 hours and the next day sleep 17 hours and oh, you're fine, I balance it out, I'm cool. No, it doesn't work like that. So if you wake up that day when you're in such an underslept stage, you can already predict what's going to happen. So you'll be tired, so on and so forth. I already mentioned that. But because you mess up these two hormones, leptin and ghrelin, you'll be hungrier throughout the day as well, and you will want those foods that raise up to give you the dopamine hit that makes you happier. The nasty foods such as hamburgers, more higher carbohydrates food as well, highly processed foods as well. So you're not gonna make such a good food choices as well on purpose, because your body just wants to feel better, wants to feel the energy, wants something that's delicious. The cravings are increased as well. So in the moment that you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh shit, I didn't sleep well, right away be on alert. Today is gonna be a difficult day. If I want to fix this, I can fix it by thinking about my first actions. I know I'll be hungrier. Okay, I can go and get more vegetables that has a high fiber, for example. Oftentimes, me personally, if I have smaller meals, I was like, oh, I need to get there some fiber, like more vegetable that make me feel full, such as broccoli. Don't like broccoli, but it definitely makes me full. Like 100 grams of broccoli, it makes me full as hell, and I'm not that hungry afterwards. So these are the things that you can think about. Apply the strategies for the rest of the day, so you don't overhit your calories. You don't get fatter over the time. That was very easy example that people on average, if they are in underslept stage, they overeat in about 300 calories on that day. So imagine if you're in underslept stage for a whole week. That's 300 calories multiplied by 7. 300 calories is for some people that work out already, bodybuilders or people that do fitness, that's already bulking stage. That's surplus. So you just by having messed up hormones because of your shitty sleep, you're already putting yourself in the bulk. You're already messing up your diet. Or you're not going to put yourself in the bulk that day or surplus, but you'll suffer even more because you'll be hungry and you will feel like something can fill you up. So that's already a huge thing. That's already a huge game changer. And this happens over the time more. You're looking at disaster. You're looking at disaster in terms of your fitness goal, and not only fitness goal, but it doesn't need to be fitness goal. It can be a regular person that never did any workout, but if they're in underslept stage for a long time, you will gain weight no matter what, because you add in calories without wanting to, without needing to. You get into bulk every goddamn day, every goddamn week, and what happens in the bulk stage, getting extra calories that you don't need, then you're not gonna burn out. You're not gonna burn them out. You're not gonna use them. They'll get stored. In terms of fat, you just get fatter and fatter and fatter, and that can change very quickly over the year. You can add a lot of kilos, so think about it. One simple thing can be sleep. It's crazy, but again, as mentioned previously, it comes also to how your body digests the food that you put in yourself, carbohydrates as well. Digestive system, again, comes also, it's about sleep as well. So the digestion, absorption of your carbs, how effectively your body can use it as well, recovering your muscles, recovering your fatigue, physical and mental, it's huge. when I listened about the Alzheimer's, I was like, my God. Like, my God, my mom probably gonna live forever and remember everything because she sleeps all the time. But I can't say that really about myself, unfortunately. So I definitely have something to fix, and I bet you too. Obesity and diabetes, I'm aware of that now. I was aware of that, so I could feel it the days that I was in an underslept stage. I slept only 5-6 hours. I was hungrier, and I felt more hungrier throughout the day, and I wanted to like have a hot chocolate, with a lot of sugar and whipped cream on top. Oh my God, that'd be great. But I knew it. I knew it's coming, and I knew that I gotta focus on that and be like, no, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. This is happening only because of that. You're not messing your diet. You're not putting too big deficit in terms of calories. You just mess up your sleep, and that's why you're hungrier. You get home, you hit the sleep, get your 9 hours, and next day you'll be back on track and you'll feel better and you're not gonna be hungry. And that's exactly what happened. One night fix could fix my diet for a day or even for a week, depends for how long you be underslept. It's a huge thing, but it's very important. That's why I mentioned that a lot of people don't realize how much important sleep is, and just listen to, you should go sleep early. Yeah, but why? I need to sleep so many hours, but why? I don't work out, I don't need to sleep that much. You don't have to work out, just regular person can has a huge effect on. Hello, Adrian. Hello, my man. Thanks for stopping by. I miss you here, man. Now I'm freezing myself without you, and that sucks. At least you would talk me through so I wouldn't feel so cold. Having you here, Red. What about your sleep? How's your sleep pattern? Share your experience with our audience, please. And what about you, Adrian? How's your sleep pattern? How many hours do you sleep, or how many hours do you actually feel like you're fine when you hit them? Would you say it's below 7 hours, or is it within the recommendations, 7 to 9 hours? Everyone has different in terms of their own kind of perception, or they assume like they're fine. So I wonder, what is your feedback on sleep? Are you able to hit regular hours and go to sleep in about regular times and wake up in about regular time, or at least get the hours that you need? Because everyone is very different, so I wonder how you feel on the hours that you get, the hours of sleep that you get. A lot of people really struggle with the sleep, so all of you guys that are in the chat, they are here with me, all of yours. Thanks once again for stopping by. And the question all we're going through today is about sleep. Pro tips and tricks. How to be smarter, more prettier, more handsome, more sexier, more productive, and I don't know what else. Something else as well. Healthier, better, sharper mind, memory, better skin, I don't know. There's a lot of things. So we go through all of that today. It's all about sleep. So please share with me in the chat, how many hours do you sleep and how do you feel about your hours that you sleep? Do you need to sleep more, or you think you're fine? That would probably be my first question. What? When do you have time to sleep 8 to 10 hours when you go to work? Like, how? I can justify 12 on days off, 100%. Like, 12 hours sleep, no problema at all. But come on, man. 8 to 10 hours on days at work? How? What's your secret? I want to know, because, like, that's a lot. That's a lot. Because I know how you look in the morning. You look quite rough. You're not morning person, like morning birdie. Oh, damn. Okay, I got you. Sorry to hear that, man. But thank you for stopping by, and thank you for taking your time to come in here. Although you go to work tomorrow, so respect. Hard worker. Respect that. Thanks for stopping by, and have a good night, man. Have a wonderful night of sleep. And I'll catch you later. Yes, we'll go through a next slide. What we're looking at? What we looking at? Already mentioned most of those things. When you look at it, it's quite a lot, but it makes a lot of sense. The night shift were classified as a probable carcinogenic. That was one of the things that people were getting paid more as well, because no one wanted to do it as well. It mess up your body clock. But comparing to regular person, comparing to what we are used to as a kids, the whole our life, we are not made for being on night shift. And especially the most effect could see people in terms of obesity, increase in diabetes, cancer, and Alzheimer. The biggest effect was on people they were on 3-pattern shift, meaning they did morning shifts from 6 to 2, for example. Then they did midday shifts, for example, from 2 to 10 o'clock, and people then they did night shift from 10 to 6. Yeah, so if you do all these 3 shifts and you have 2 days morning, then 1 day night, and then another day midday, and then it just rotates somehow crazily around, it can mess you up pretty badly. Me personally, I know people that went on night shift and they couldn't adapt to that. It was so difficult for their body. They went through problems, they were gaining weight, they were feeling very bad in terms of energy. Overall, their whole personality kind of changed based on that. I don't mean in a bad way, I mean in terms of their energy and the way they're just come across as people later on. Because if you're tired all the time or you're really struggling with the sleep, you have a very bad sleep in terms of quality and hours as well, because your body's just messed up. It's terrible. Like, for me, doing night shift overtime, it's a killer. It's a killer. I hate it. I really do. But you get paid rent. What can you do? I mean, this rent, you get paid rent. It's not for free. So, yeah, really respect to people that can do night shift. I couldn't do it myself, and people that really can do these 3 kind of work patterns. It's insane. But by the research, it's more carcinogenic. You can have way more problems with your health, and it's just crazy. The consequences are not trivial. They're quite big. So think about it, guys. Sometimes not worth the £1 more extra per hour on the night shift. Okay. Number 4, alcohol and its effect on sleep. Probably something that can apply most adults or even some teenagers. Yeah, impact on non-REM sleep, which is not the deep phase. Yeah, that's REM sleep. The deep phase of sleep, it's REM sleep. This one is the light. Non-REM sleep is the lighter part of your sleep throughout the night. The interesting thing, when I listened to that podcast and the book as well, REM sleep and non-REM sleep, they work only in certain hours. They have their working hours. So, in other words, the REM sleep, I think, was occurring between 10 and 2 a.m. So between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. And then the rest of it was getting to the point of non-REM sleep, the light sleep, when you usually is the stage when you sleep, you can have vivid dreams and so on. So in the REM sleep, you just deep, your body is just off, it just shuts down, it's just off. You don't have dreams, you're in very deep sleep. You don't even know that you exist. Some people, they are very deep sleepers. You can shout at them, you can try to wake them up, things can happen around them, and they have no clue. I'm quite a deep sleeper. I can fall asleep pretty quickly and in the deep sleep. But as it comes after 3 a.m. usually, the things go down quite a bit, so it's not cool afterwards. And that also comes to that when you're in non-REM sleep after the 2 a.m. It comes to that your body's more awake, more alertness as well. It has a dream, so on, they change it as well. And that's also the point if you drink too much water before you sleep. When you're in this lighter part of sleep, more likely you're about to wake up and actually need to go to toilet because your body is more active. It's as I mentioned, processing things and so on. So it can happen more likely that you will disturb your sleep by going to toilet and totally wake up even more. So you're coming out of that REM sleep pretty deep to non-REM sleep, way less deeper, and then you wake up because you need to go to toilet and you mess up totally again, even more, and then you try to sleep again, or it just won't work anymore. So it's really bad for that. Think about it. So as mentioned, impact on non-REM sleep. Stage 1 and 2 reduces time in lighter sleep stages. Slow wave sleep, SWS, initially increase deep slow wave sleep, SWS. Impact on REM sleep. Suppression of REM sleep reduces REM sleep, crucial for memory and emotion. So as mentioned, when you have an alcohol, it has a huge impact on your sleep in terms of the deep stage. They're very important stage, crucial for memory and emotion. Sleep fragmentation, increased awakenings, may lead to more awakenings in the second half of the night when it occurs the non-REM sleep, causing sleep fragmentation. So as I mentioned, if you, for example, put yourself on a monitor, sleep monitor, special device that can monitor your sleep, or even, for example, some high-level intelligent smartwatch, such as Whoop. Check the Whoop, it's a good thing. I'm not sponsored, maybe one day, who knows. But for example, Whoop or even your smartwatch, talking about the ones that are quite decent, actually can provide legit information. Those ones you can see that the pattern when you were hitting kind of the less deep sleep, so on, when your body is more reactive to things overall. As you sleep, you're in the lighter stage, so you can see there the pattern as well. When you're in deeper one, there's like a kind of awakening, and then kind of deeper again, so on and so forth. So it really changes, it really fluctuates, and just goes up and down throughout the night. And again, we talk about alcohol and its effect on sleep. It's a huge thing. It may maybe make you sleepier, but it doesn't mean you will hit that REM sleep quicker. So it's like if someone give you injection to fall asleep. It's not the same thing. It's not. Rebound effect. REM rebound. Regular drinkers may experience an increase in REM sleep when alcohol is discontinued. So again, REM sleep when alcohol is discontinued. So, what it means, quite interesting thing. When I listened to the podcast, again, mentioned probably like 20 times, that was the thing about REM sleep and alcohol, because you messed up your REM sleep, and also overall your alcohol kind of blocking the filtering all the memories, all what happens, so on. Really, like, imagine hard drive, putting there on all the information, filtering what is needed, what is not needed, and then it's, for example, being presented in your dreams, so on as well. You can have very vivid dreams, or you can have after the night of drinking, you can have a lot of crazy dreams, very quick ones. You won't even remember them. It'll be dream after dream, dream after dream, dream after dream, and there'll be a lot of them, but they'll be very vivid. Some of them just won't make sense at all. It's crazy. The thing is with the drinkers, as you drink a lot, for example, it really blocks this ability for your brain to get all of this out of your mind. And the thing is, if you drink a lot for a long time, what can happen, you can get to the stage when you have an hallucination. Because if you drink, usually, for example, let's say closer to a night, and every night you get drunk just to fall asleep or whatever, feel better. If you do it really consistently over the long time, the Matthew Walker was mentioning the people that eventually having hallucinations, because your body never has time to get rid of all these dreams, all of that needs to go out. Yeah, so because you never allow it to just get it out because of the alcohol, which impacts the sleep and the time when all this should be filtered out. What it started doing is like, okay, you won't let me to do it while you sleep, I'll serve you all your shit while you're awake. So you can start having these hallucinations and kind of like crazy dreams, so to speak, dreams, hallucinations, projections while you're awake, which was insane. I was like, what? Like, really? They were mentioned there, Sober October, for example, and its impact on your sleep, and also people that have a problem with alcohol. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Your body will always kind of find a way how to do it. As I mentioned, if you not letting your body to do it effectively, sufficiently, as it should, because you're messing up with alcohol and you're messing your brain, memory, sleep, so on and so forth. You know what you're doing, very likely. It's like, okay, you don't give me a choice. Okay, there you go. You can get it while you're awake, and let's have fun. So I guess it must be crazy. It must be crazy. It's extreme cases, of course, but again, it's something to definitely keep in your mind. So, and especially why you're having such crazy dreams. Like, you can try it out yourself. I tried multiple times myself, not because it was part of the experiment, just because I was drinking that more than I meant. And yeah, then I was having a lot of crazy dreams, and it was very quick, and I really didn't enjoy a proper stage of a dream sleep. I didn't. It was just skip kind of through it, and it was insane. So yeah, it can happen. Think about it. Individual responses vary. They really vary. It depends on factors like amount, timing of alcohol consumption, and metabolic differences influence its impact. So what it means: timing of alcohol, what time do you drink in? When you drink in, do you drink, for example, 6 p.m.? Do you drink it before bed? Are you awake longer than you should, and you drinking it in the midnight, and then you go to sleep for 5 hours, and then you wake up again 5 a.m. for example, or 6 a.m. All of these factors really matter. Metabolic difference as well means how effectively is your body dealing with alcohol as well, how quickly it can get rid of it, filter it again. All those things really matters. Are you regular drinker? Are you occasional? Are you like rare drinker? How used to you're to alcohol? All those things really matters, which again comes to a person. So it's only up to you, the way that you consume alcohol. There's really, as mentioned, a lot of things that can influence this impact. Advice for better sleep. Now get to the positive stuff. Moderation, especially close to bedtime, is generally recommended to minimize disruptions to the sleep cycle and promote better overall sleep quality. There'll be definitely more advices by the end of the whole stream, number 2, part 2. So there'll be then, of course, as you can see previously, there was overview. So in overview, get back to the top. In overview is all what you can see later on. So in part 2, we'll go through sleep and hormones, talking also, of course, about ghrelin and leptin, hormones and appetite control, hormones in terms of testosterone, hormones in terms of your thyroid as well, in terms of estrogen as well. We are men, we have estrogen. Women have estrogen. Women have some testosterone as well. We are men, we have testosterone as well. So it's not just I got one or I got the other. Both of them affect us in a certain way. And there's way more to hormones than just that. So don't miss out the next part 2. So sleep and hormones, ghrelin and leptin, hormones and appetite control. Optimize the sleep for better well-being. Strategies for better sleep. Post-lunch dip in alertness. Post-lunch dip in alertness is something I mentioned already before when I give you that little example about people in Greece and just siesta time. So yeah, they'll be there more in depth. It's pretty interesting. again, it's something you can find in Joe Rogan's podcast and with Matthew Walker, and he puts out there pretty good examples and really makes it interesting. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we get into fifth point. And fifth point is gonna be the last one for today, which is coffee, caffeinated drinks overall, whereas coffee, energy drinks, and many others, stimulus substances, including caffeine, all about that, and its effect on sleep again. So, stimulant properties. Caffeine is a stimulant. Caffeine is a natural stimulant found in coffee, tea, energy drinks, and certain medications. Interesting thing, recently I found actually caffeine being added in paracetamol. I was like, what's that for? Why there's caffeine? So you feel better, like more energetic, I guess? But I never seen it before. Honestly, in paracetamol, having a caffeine added, I was like, why? But I guess when you're feeling sick, you're trying to get paracetamol so you feel better. It may help absorption, I don't know, or just making you feel better already. Like it has it works, so you kind of get kick and you feel better. Adenosine receptor blocker. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine receptors in the brain, preventing the onset of drowsiness. Another great example of just for you. So when I listen to that podcast, perfect thing. So the adenosine receptor blocker, the caffeine works as it blocks it. So imagine, for example, the great thing when you have the huge dip of energy, you go up and then you go down. When you just have a spike, of energy because of your coffee, your tea, energy drink, so on, whatever has a caffeine inside, then you getting up, you feeling amazing, and then you have the massive dip down and you feel like shit again, and you feel like you need another coffee again. Yeah. So the thing is, with the caffeine, it stops the adenosine receptors, which means, an easy way to explain it, imagine there is a river, and the river flows. Okay, the river is your energy. Different way. There is a river, and it's the adenosine receptors. It blocks it. Okay, so all the tiredness, all the onset of drowsiness. Losing my capabilities to speak. Okay, so the adenosine receptors, again, imagine there is a river and you block the river. You block the river of tiredness and drowsiness and getting tired throughout the day because you haven't slept well, you're just getting late, so on and so forth. You want to feel awake, sharp, focused. You want to get through the day, so on and so forth. Whatever may be the purpose that you want, use the caffeine for. The caffeine blocks it. The caffeine blocks the river. There'll be barrier right in front of it. It stops the river. There's no more water flowing through the barrier. But the point is, all the water behind it, it's accumulating. Okay, so because you stopped it, you put the barrier in front of it. It doesn't mean nothing is happening behind it. There's still water, but it's just hitting the wall. So it builds up. And as the caffeine is going down, the caffeine level, the effectiveness is going down, you're gonna have that massive drop of energy, the dip. And then all of it that build it up over the time, over the, for example, few hours, when the coffee was very effective. The caffeine was very effective. Depends again on you, on your tolerance, how you used to it. If you had a coffee on empty stomach, so on and so forth. There's many things. It again comes to individual as well. So all of that happens there. It just goes out. It just blows. So you get that massive effect of tiredness all at once. Not just like, I'm a little bit tired, but I think I can crack on, I'll survive. No, I'm gonna get coffee to feel amazing. That blocks all the tiredness, and I feel like, oh, let's do it. Okay. But on the other hand, let's do it, let's smash it or whatever. Once you go down pretty low, and you get hit from all of that they build it up. From all that low energy, tiredness, build it up over the time that you were up there. You get down and you get even more deeper than you would if you just stayed in the kind of tired state. So it's a terrible thing. A lot of people then, when they feel amazing on the top and they feel at the bottom, they feel even below the bottom because it just built it up, because caffeine really stops the tiredness, the drowsiness. But then as it stops working, boom, you get all of it back, because as mentioned, it's blocking the adenosine receptors. So it's a terrible thing. That explains the massive drop of energy. So is it really worth it? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes I guess it's better to be kind of in acceptable, productive way, or just acceptable energy level. And you don't feel amazing, but you don't feel that bad. Then being amazing, be on top, and then you drop down below. So think about, again, application of the caffeine and the caffeine overall within your day, and when to use it as well, because as mentioned previously, it can have effect on your brain up to 12 hours. It doesn't seem like it still has effect, but your brain's still trying to get rid of the effect on caffeine on it. Impact on sleep. Sleep onset delay. Consuming caffeine, especially late in the day, can delay the onset of sleep by interfering with the natural sleep-wake cycle. Reduce sleep duration. Caffeine may lead to a reduction in total sleep duration, particularly in higher doses or if consumed close to bedtime. So simple as that. It will keep you more awake, more active, again sharper longer than you should, and it can really mess up your sleep-wake cycle. As mentioned, if you plan to go to sleep at 10 o'clock and you had a coffee and you're at 5 p.m., you're quite sensitive to it before it gets digested, before it gets in your blood cells, all of that blood cells before it gets in your blood you know, and you're gonna kick in the effect from nothing or slowly absorbing to maximum potential of the caffeine based on you, again, on your tolerance and so on. It can really mess up your sleep, although you may think there's nothing, but it happens. It really happens. You gotta think about it when you have a last coffee. Although you may feel like, oh, I just had a coffee at 5, and at 7 I'm getting tired already. It can have really bad impact on your sleep during the night, and it even put you off asleep. You meant to go to sleep at 10, and you just can't, because the caffeine won't allow you to fall asleep properly. You just moving it all around. No way that you can properly fall asleep because you had that coffee previously, just a couple hours ago. So that's definitely mentioning sleep-wake cycle, because it can mess it up, especially if you're really trying to focus on your sleep hygiene and get your hours properly as you should, meaning 7 to 9 hours, go to sleep at the same time and wake up about the same time as well, whether you're on your days at work, on your days off. If we're talking about day shift, for example, morning shift pattern. Yeah. So the reduced sleep duration explains itself. It really can put off your sleep a lot, and again, you can wake up earlier than you meant to. You can have very bad quality of sleep, keep you more overall awake, so more likely about to wake up, more likely about to go to the toilet, some noise out there, on the street, for example, can wake you up. All those things, little movement in the bed, something moves there, some sound there. It's not good by any means. Sleep quality. Disruption of sleep stages. Caffeine can disrupt the normal progression through sleep stages, potentially affecting the depth and restoration quality of sleep. REM sleep impact. Higher doses of caffeine may reduce the time spent in REM, rapid eye movement, sleep, a crucial stage for cognitive function and memory consolidation. This one explained pretty well itself. The REM sleep, as you already know, is the deepest sleep, and then non-REM sleep is the lighter sleep. And again, comes to that, each sleep is equally important. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna skip this part and I'm gonna get right away to that part, or I don't need this part, I'm gonna get to this part of sleep. Each sleep, those two, REM and non-REM, both of them have their importance, their purpose. As you go to sleep, they need to be done, and they happen only in a certain amount of hours. So the point is, if you go to sleep, as I mentioned, first one can happen in first 2 hours of your sleep, first 3 hours of your sleep. Next one will happen, for example, in last 5 hours of your sleep. Yeah. If you think you're not gonna sleep this time or not gonna sleep that time, you cut the time. You need proper amount of hours to go through the stages. It's not like, oh, I just cut it 1 hour, that's nothing. No, you could cut 35% of the non-REM sleep stage, yeah, which again is important. Or you could cut the 35% of the REM sleep by just getting rid of 2 hours. And it's really not worth it. It's really not worth it. Both of them, they have certain purpose, so just get away with it. Simple as that. Both of them have a certain purpose, and you gotta get through them. You'll feel more rested. Your body will do what it needs to do through each of those stages. For that reason, again, it's important to have between 7 to 9 hours. If you want to have better information on that, again, I would definitely highly encourage you check out the Why We Sleep book from Matthew Walker. Amazing book. It was a bestseller, so check it out. He'll be able to explain this more in the depth, and yeah, give you also better examples. For example, they'll be slightly more interesting than mine. Like, I heard it, I learned it from him, but it doesn't mean I can basically put exactly the information the same way as he could, for example. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's invalid information, it just means it's slightly different approach. The individual sensitivity. So variability in response. Individuals vary in their sensitivity. Individuals vary in their sensitivity to caffeine, with some being more affected by its stimulating effects on sleep. Metabolism differences. Differences in caffeine metabolism can contribute to variations in its impact on sleep. Something already I mentioned previously, already explained, so I don't feel like we need to go through it again. Duration on effect. Half-life. Caffeine has a half-life of several hours, meaning its stimulating effects persist for a significant duration. Which is again surprising, right? When I heard it could be really 12 hours, I was like, wow, that's a lot. And I had last coffee at 7 o'clock. That means till 7 o'clock next day in the morning, it has its effect on me without me even knowing it. And by 7 a.m., I'll already be awake, or I'll be already at work. What did I do before? I have a coffee. So I'm hitting it from stage of having caffeine inside of me to going another stage, having a caffeine again. So I had one coffee, then I had another coffee, and I didn't let my body to clear out of its system. I'm just going from one to another to another to another, even without knowing. Because if I have 2-3 coffees a day and bad hours as well on top of that, it just adds up. So your body will never stay clear out of the caffeine. Evening consumption. Consuming caffeine in the evening can lead to its presence in the bloodstream during bedtime, potentially disrupting sleep. And now there's another part for you. Strategies for minimizing impact. Moderation. Consuming caffeine in moderation and earlier in the day can minimize its impact on sleep. As I mentioned, it really takes many hours to get it rid of out of your system, to filter it out, stop having the effect on your brain. Hence, as mentioned here as well, try to use coffee during earlier stages of the day. Imagine if you have your last coffee at midday, 12 p.m., then by 12 a.m., by the midnight, it finally clears out. You already went for 2-3 hours having a sleep, and yet it still has an impact on. So technically speaking, if you go to sleep by 10 o'clock and you want to be clear out of your caffeine 100%, like very clear of that, very sure, then you would have your last coffee by 10 a.m., for example. Yeah. So some people wake up by the time on days off and then go to sleep by 10 a.m. again because they felt by 10 p.m. again because they felt tired. So yeah. Caffeine-free period. Establishing a caffeine-free period in the afternoon and evening can promote better sleep hygiene. Simple as that. Just don't have your coffee as you get to midnight or afternoon. Don't have your coffee as you get to the point later of the day, afternoon and evening. Simple as that. Withdrawal effect. Caffeine dependency. Regular consumption can lead to dependency and sudden cessation. And sudden results can lead to dependency, and it can lead to dependency and result in withdrawal symptoms, including fatigue and irritability. So you get more irritated. Definitely been there, done that. Fatigue as well. Felt constantly tired all the time. Constantly felt that I'm irritated, and it was terrible. I stopped with the caffeine. I didn't have any coffee for a month because it was too much. I've had 3 coffees a day. It was quite recently, in fact. It was the second times when I had to really get rid of the coffee entirely because it went so far. It was second times in 3 years that I had to get rid of coffee entirely because I was all the time tired, like all the time. And when it was this last time, I had 3 coffees a day, sometimes 4. Or sometimes I had just 3, and then I had an energy drink on top of that. So we're looking at half a gram, 500 milligrams of caffeine, which is a lot. That's like 300 milligrams of caffeine already in your, for example, pre-workout. That's already quite high dose. Not mentioning 350, 400, and I could have even 500 milligrams. So I felt all the time tired. I felt like I have no energy. My body just stopped producing energy. Whether I was on days off or I was at work, it didn't really matter. I was just kind of all the time tired unless I was on coffee. And after every 3 to 4 hours, I needed to have coffee. Otherwise, I felt tired. Damn it. No, sorry. It's quite late already. Getting late. So, yeah, think about it, guys. You really don't want to get dependency on it. You don't want to put all your cards of energy on coffee and just taking it as the only one resource of your energy. Your body can produce energy, but if you really let it happen, good luck with that. It's difficult. It wasn't easy for first 2 days. I had headaches when I started with the coffee. and for next week I felt tiredness. Like, it improved my sleep drastically. It improved my sleep 100%. I felt way better when I stopped with the coffee entirely, and kicking in the melatonin, the drowsiness, sleepiness, all that was on point, really. So I had a wonderful time of sleep after that. Now, after 1.5 months of being without coffee, totally without having a coffee, I got back to it again, and I started with the 1 in the morning. And 1 in the morning feels fine. It feels good. When I have one at about 6 a.m. or even 8 a.m. feels good. I have enough time to get rid of the coffee, get it out of my system, and then have a good quality of sleep. So 1, perhaps 2 could be manageable. More than that, no. I didn't dare to have any drink. I did not, because that's 1, for example, 2 teaspoons of coffee can have 80 milligrams of caffeine, and energy drinks can in about 150, some 180. It depends, of course, but that's a big difference. That's a double of that, and I don't want that, of course, having 2 coffees right at the same time. So in 1 drink, that's a lot. So I'm trying to stay away from energy drinks still. Once again, I want to mention that gradually reducing caffeine intake can help mitigate withdrawal effects and promote better sleep. Really reduce it if you're feeling tired all the time. Try to reduce coffee, have a better, more hours of sleep, or improve your sleep drastically. Interaction with sleep disorders. Exacerbation of insomnia. Individuals with insomnia or certain sleep disorders may be more susceptible to the disruptive effects of caffeine on sleep. Consultation with healthcare professionals. Individuals with sleep concerns should consult healthcare professionals for personalized advice on caffeine consumption. Understanding the impact of caffeine on sleep and adopting meaningful consumption practices can contribute to better sleep quality and overall well-being. So sleep, mental health, physical health, all of that is one. You're one unit. You're one, I don't want to say one thing, but you are one unit. It has to work together. So your body, physically and mentally as well, all in once, make a perfect balance. If one of those things, whether your mental health or your physical, it's just lacking, you're not going to be balanced, and you'll be losing somewhere else. So it will eventually have impact somewhere else and will reflect in other way. So that's unfortunately the way it is. I would point my fingers as well, but I'm really not feeling my fingers anyway. I can't even put them. See it? I can't put them together. I really tried to put my pinky together. I don't feel my fingers. Like these ones kind of okay, but these ones, come on. No, I just don't feel my fingers. Yeah, I'm losing it. It's time to go home in a nice warm house and hit my 8 hours of sleep in a nice warm bed. Oh my god. So what we got next for the yes, as you can see later on we go through the sleep and hormones and others. I'm gonna repeat it one more time. So today, overview part 1 of today's stream: sleep and muscle growth, the crucial role of rest in building strength, optimal sleep and performance, short sleep, short life, impact on health and cancer risk, alcohol and its effect on sleep, caffeine and its effect on sleep. In part 2, we'll go through sleep and hormones, ghrelin and leptin, hormones and appetite control, optimizing sleep for better well-being, strategies for better sleep, and post-lunch dip in alertness. So that's gonna be part 2, followed by this week. You get notified. I'm gonna put it here on Twitch as well, and also my Instagram. So as always, don't forget it. Follow me on Instagram, danny.fitnessaddict. Follow me here, follow me there. If you like to go above and beyond, press the subscribe. I'll really appreciate it. It helps me to finance my rent and all this behind it. More things coming up soon. New podcast, new episode of the podcast releasing very soon, so stay definitely tuned. I'm looking forward to that, to put the new episode out there and see your feedback, and overall, perhaps even overall feedback on how am I doing, what would you like to see from me, for you, or overall this channel for year of 2024. So looking forward to your feedback, looking forward to see what you get to say, and I'll listen and read it, and I'll go through it, and then I'll provide you the feedback as well. So thank you guys once again for being here today. Very happy to see new followers as well, such as for today we got Electri, Kitty, and Fefe2113. So thank you guys once again for being here. It was absolutely lovely, and I'm very excited for the new year. Very excited once again to be affiliate officially on Twitch. Took a long time and a lot of work and a lot of support from all of you out there. So get a warm up, pack all the stuff, and enjoy a wonderful sleep. So you as well, guys, don't forget, have a wonderful night of sleep, wherever you may be. Think about the next time when you go to sleep and how you can apply all these things to yourself and get the most out of it. So thank you. See you this week. Have a good night. Remember, strong alone, stronger together. Have a good night.